From ancient homes built into the sides of mountains to an invisible floating house, these are some of the strangest houses the world has to offer. Stay tuned to find out which one is strange enough to turn everything upside down. Number 10. The Winchester House, California. This property in San Jose, California was once the home of Sarah Winchester, the widow of gunmaker William Wirt Winchester. After Winchester's death in 1881, Sarah was advised by a psychic medium she contacted to leave her marital home and travel west. There, she should start building herself a house, with one caveat. The medium told her to never stop building. That's right, this house was set to be home to the spirits of all those who fell victim to the Winchester rifle. I'm sure that the Winchester house could be seen strange in many ways, but most of all, by its very bizarre architecture, or lack thereof. Rather than planning anything on the property before building began, Sarah Winchester just decided each day what the builders would do based upon what she claimed the spirits were telling her. This led to many bizarre nooks and crannies throughout the home, staircases that lead to nowhere, windows in the floor, and many trapdoors, just to name a few of the many odd features. Building only stopped when Sarah Winchester died in the September of 1922. The property is now a popular tourist attraction and a museum. Number 9. The Carrot House, Poland. The Carrot House in Warsaw, Poland was finished October of 2012. This property measures just 48 inches wide at its widest point. It's the world's skinniest house. Architect Jacob Szczesny of Centrala, Poland, first discussed the idea he had for this property at the Wola Art Festival in 2009. It was to serve as kind of an art installation, but also be a fully functional live-in house for traveling writers and artists. The Carrot House got its name from Israeli writer Etgar Keret, who was its first visitor. The structure consists of 2 stories of translucent glass paneling built between 2 existing properties. Its interior contains 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, a kitchen, and a living area, all of which are painted white. This home is also a popular tourist attraction now, despite the fact that it's still lived in by permanent guests. Number 8. The Crazy House, Germany. This wacky entry in our top 10 is appropriately named The Crazy House. It's in Apeldoorn, Germany, and built in 2014. It took 6 weeks total to construct and cost $236,000 to complete. It was actually built as a tourist attraction by 3 friends from the area, and the property is as upside down on the inside as it is on the outside. All of the interior is built wrong side up, with tables, sofas, and even toilets hanging from the ceiling above you. The tourist attraction has become very popular with travelers and has inspired other upside-down houses to be built all over the world. But how exactly am I supposed to use an upside-down toilet? Number 7. The Toilet House, South Korea. Speaking of toilets, this building was built by Mr. Toilet himself, Sim Jae-duk, as a celebration of the start of the World Toilet Association, an organization that saves lives through safe toilet sanitation. Yes, this is a real organization. Anyway, he demolished his home of 30 years and had a new one built in the shape of a giant toilet. That's right, his new home, a 21,463 square foot toilet bowl. Now, you can't say Mr. Jae-duk didn't have a sense of humor, as the official name of the house is Haewoojae, which loosely translates to a house to satisfy anxiety or a place to relieve one's concerns. He lived on the property from its completion in 2007 until his death in 2009, at which point it was converted to a museum, showing toilet culture from around the world. In 2012, the Toilet House/Museum was upscaled even further, as an entire toilet-based theme park was created on the location in Suwon City, where guests are encouraged to interact with sculptures and exhibits. But they're told that there are actual working toilets to use for, well, you get the idea. Number 6. The Cave House, Arizona. In Bisbee, Arizona, on 37 acres of land sits the Cave House, an extravagant 2,000 square foot home built into and out of the desert's granite rock. Built by the owner's late husband, it was once on the market for a cool $1.5 million, complete with a massive guest house, an underground game room, a library, a workshop, a sunken living room, and even a yoga parlor. The interior of the house is bare boulder walls, rock, and cement ceilings, and the home has a natural spring running within the walls. The beautiful but bizarre property was built using the Swedish straight wall mining technique, and the properties of the structure mean that the temperature is constantly maintained between 66 and 72 degrees Fahrenheit, making it incredibly energy efficient, even in the scorching heat of the Arizona desert. To add to the bizarre secrets of the property are the swimming pools located a short hike up the Chulo Canyon mountain, fed by freshwater streams, and the carefully hidden jacuzzi that is built right into the boulder itself. Number 5. The Hermit's Castle, Scotland. The Hermit's Castle is the name affectionately given to what is known to be Europe's smallest castle. Residing in the Achmelvik area of Scotland, this castle was built in the 1950s by David Scott, an architect from England. But not much is known about why it was built or what the designer had intended to do with the structure after its completion. It had been speculated that the building was modeled after the concept of an anchorite cell, hence the name given to it. And don't worry, I had to look it up too. An anchorite is a religious recluse. Anyway, similarities can be seen in its size, basic form, and very narrow doorway. It is also said to resemble the architecture of some small military-type buildings such as a pillbox, especially because of where it sits on the coastline, high up, and only accessible from below, giving it excellent defensive properties. What David Scott may have wanted with a hermit's cell or a military pillbox, though, we'll never know, because he abandoned the building only one weekend after he finished building it. Weird, huh? Inside the structure, there is simply a concrete bed platform, hearth, and shelves, and it's no more than 6.5 feet tall or wide in any one place. Today, it is used as a shelter by many of the hikers in the Highlands. Number 4. The N55 Walking House. This weird and wonderful invention was the result of a collaboration between MIT and the Danish design project N55 back in 2008. The structure itself is 10 feet tall and powered by solar panels along its roof. Inside you will find a bed, a kitchen, a toilet, and a wood stove. The house walks on 6 legs, which are built with high stability so you would experience smooth travel over any terrain. The house can turn left and right with ease, move forward and backward, and even change its height to fit its journey. The designers and implementers stated at the time that their intention with the project was to make advances on the initial design so that the walking house would be able to follow a set of GPS waypoints that could be remotely set with a smartphone. That's right, a house that you never have to leave behind. The walking house was meant to make a statement about being kind to the environment and to encourage the nomadic culture, but it was also said to be inspired by bizarre Russian folktales about magical traveling houses moving through forests. Number 3. The Plane Tree House, Costa Rica. Now, this one's just plain crazy. See what I did there? The thought of waking up on half of an airplane suspended 50 feet in the air while sticking out of the Costa Rican rainforest rooftops may be some people's worst nightmare. But this dreamlike suite can be your place to call home for just $2,800 a week. The suite itself is built from a 1965 Boeing 727 that once flew for Colombian Avianca Airlines, but it has since been converted to a self-contained living space complete with 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a kitchenette, a dining room, and a sea view terrace. The plane itself, which was destined for the scrapyard before being bought and repurposed, had to be transported in 5 pieces from its former home in San Jose International Airport all the way to the village of Quepos, Costa Rica. It was there that it was ever so carefully rebuilt and furnished throughout in hand-carved teak paneling. Staying here may only be for the elite among us, as a night in this treehouse is said to cost the same as a night's stay in the Ritz Hotel. One can dream though, right? Number 2. The Iranian Cave Homes, Iran. Found in Kandovan, Iran, these 700-year-old semi-underground houses are carved from natural volcanic rock into the foot of Mount Sahand. The area itself looks akin to something from the early Star Wars movies, with ancient-looking carved-out entryways and rooms, but there are more modern windows and doors in some of the properties too. Perhaps Iran may not be everyone's first thought for an ideal holiday home location, but the extremely low-energy homes are available to rent and buy in an area popular with hotels and other tourist attractions. These underground homes were once used by early Christians to hide from the armies of the Romans, and are part of a 100 square mile underground system that runs between villages with hidden passages, secret chambers, and long forgotten temples. These houses are just steeped in history. Number 1. The Invisible Treehouse, Sweden. You heard me right, an invisible treehouse. But no superpowers are needed, just some amazing smoke and mirrors tricks. The Invisible Treehouse is in Herad, Sweden. It is a part of the same complex that brought us the Bird's Nest Treehouse. In 2010, despite many people saying it couldn't be done, Kent Lindvall and his wife Britta, along with 7 Scandinavian architects, built an invisible live-in treehouse. The aim behind the complex is to give a top-quality living experience as far away from the stresses of life as you can get. And with this invisible, self-contained suite tucked away among the treetops, I reckon they achieved just that. The 13 by 13 by 13 foot cube is built from mirrored glass exterior walls, which reflect the trees and foliage surrounding the cube, giving the appearance of complete invisibility. The cube is accessed by an all-natural rope bridge that winds through trees and behind the treehouse. Inside, you will find accommodation for 2 people with a double bed, a living area, a bathroom, and of course, a beautiful rooftop terrace. A truly strange and unique living experience. Now I'm off to go work on my invisible suit. Anyway, that has been our review of the top 10 strangest houses. Which home would you like to live in? Which do you think is downright bizarre? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Ciao!